Hey everybody, it's CreamCrazy here, and this Christmas evening, I bet you're all wondering and all happy, thinking, "Oh, it's Christmas tomorrow. Everyone's pleased." And I've done my Christmas shopping. I've wrapped my presents, and I'm hoping I get what I want, and I hope everyone else gets what they want for Christmas. But there is one thing that I haven't got. I know the mythical mythology of Santa can't give it. I know my family can't give it. And I know the wrestling world has seen what some could call a change, where two guys who have become big stars thanks to the internet around them, Zack Ryder and Daniel Bryan, are now champions. CM Punk, an internet darling and a proven wrestling epic basically legend on our terms for now, thanks to the epic promos and everything, has had this amazing year. But however, we may be thinking, we're all happy, aren't we? We're all happy that these guys have made it because the people wanted it, right? We're all thinking right now, as members of the IWC, we got what we wanted. The WWE, however, do not think that. And what I want for Christmas is for them not to drop the ball. And this is the reason for this Christmas Eve plea to the WWE Creative team that I am doing right here, right now. Because if you haven't read up, the Raw main event for this week, which was a good main event, in my opinion, very entertaining match, but it only gained, in America, 59,000 viewers. And it made the rating go to, I think, around a 2.7-ish. Something like that, overall. And I've heard reports in the last couple of days saying that WWE want to take the title off Punk because of the low ratings. Now, what does that sound like to me? Del Rio, he got 2.7 in the ratings. The title was swapped to Cena, only for it to be given back to Del Rio 2 weeks later. And to me, that's just completely out of order, because WWE, your creative team, the fact is, you can't just do this when something, it doesn't, you can't just change things when you don't get the immediate ratings from it. Because Randy Orton made your ratings go from, what, 3.7, 3.5-ish, down to the low threes we see today that happened 2 years ago, for God's sake. And you didn't do anything about that. And it contradicts itself. But my main point that I'm going to really point out here is that success, in your eyes, the Mr. McMahon's eyes, the Brian Gerwitz's of this world, who the Raw head writer, if you did not know, and even the stockholders, the people up there in the board of directors office, you want success at the snap of a finger, don't you? You want success to come like that. And I can tell you we all want that from some aspects of our lives. But in the world of wrestling, it's already been proven that these things do take time to settle in. People are going to have to understand that this is obviously a cycle of change, and a cycle of change does take time to implement its effect. Think about the Attitude Era, for example. We all say, in 1996, Austin 316, the Attitude Era was born. But the ratings did not reflect that, because obviously WCW was still reigning over WWE in that time, so you can't really say it was born there. Because people say, oh, when Austin won the title, and when he went up forward in 98 onwards, it was WWE's ballgame. And to be honest, you look at the Attitude Era, where it started with Austin 316, but the ratings never really reached the pressures of beating WCW until 1998. And there was only the Montreal Screwjob that was able to captivate all the people and captivate everyone to say, look, this is interesting, this is ridiculously good stuff, we're switching over. And it's where we look. From Austin 316, at King of the Ring 96, it was a bit of a small little spike, but not too much, because WCW was still winning. You then see the Montreal Screwjob as a way of going, well, look, watch this. That's when it started to spike a bit. Austin winning, and the McMahon rivalry escalating, and then, of course, the DX stuff as well. All of it went up, and up, and up, and up. And do you know what? That took 2 years to fully reap its benefits. At the time, in 97, there were some of the lowest bought pay-per-views, some of the lowest viewed Raws. And in fact, even the lowest main event of Raw, this one happened, was actually, to be honest, if you look at the figures that have recently come out, the 59,000 for the main event of Raw was one of the lowest since a non-Christmas show in 1997. The facts line up. And the WWE Creative team, you took time, because obviously they were completely different people. You took time to facilitate change. And this is where you now say success is money. Ratings are money, and therefore if you lose viewers, you lose money. But then you think, okay, there's one way we can change that by taking the title off what has caused the ratings to go down and give it to someone who can put the ratings up. In your words, John fucking Cena. And if we, I just don't want to see that again. No. And there is a simple reason. I know people in the IWC do not get genuinely pleased regardless of who holds the gold. They can support CM Punk, but the minute he hits the big time, they can go, oh, CM Punk sucks and everything. But Raw, first time I've watched Raw was this past week. The first time I've watched Raw in about 5 months properly. Well, 2 months properly. And I think I had not been more happy to watch Monday Night Raw. And even when I was watching SmackDown, I felt good about it. I felt happy seeing Daniel Bryan as champion. I felt that we had someone in wrestling who wasn't over the top, who wasn't a kayfabe-laden gimmick, but someone I could relate to as a guy who had fought his way and done everything he could to make it somewhere successful. And everyone can relate to that. Even with Punk can be related in that way. And even with Zack Ryder, a guy who didn't get any support from the people in his job, he decided to make a name for himself and made it to the top due to it. Now, I can also say, WWE Creative Team, that if you want to take the title off Punk, then also de-push Del Rio, Ziggler and Miz while you're at it. Because it wasn't just the champions that were causing this slump. If you think about it, of course there was no John Cena, but then this viewer slump could be the kids saying to their parents, oh, John Cena's not in the championship, I don't want to watch this anymore. It could be something as simple as that. And in fact, I could even say, it's Christmas. People are busy going out and having a good time in their work parties, or they're just going out and getting completely smashed, knowing that they have to. In fact, I could even say this: their kids are over at their friends' houses doing some celebratory Christmas stuff. I don't know. You define your viewer audience demographic and what they could possibly be doing on a Monday night. Because think about it, in the lead up to Christmas, you're going to get a low rate. Because there's going to be the Christmas Monday Night Football, there's all kinds of sports going on. Wrestling takes an afterthought when it comes to Christmas, because all they know is it's going to be festivities, Merry Christmas to all, it's all going to be gimmicky, and it's not really worth watching. When people see that, then they think that in their heads, that it won't go anywhere. And it's when I look at this idea that you're going to take the title off Punk, and I even think you probably will take it off Bryan and Ryder as well, just because of this one event. You can't make. I know you guys in the creative team make decisions on the fly every single week, but you learn from history that change takes time to implement its effectiveness. You can't just say, "Oh, this is failing, therefore I'm going to have to get rid of it. Put something new in there." Yep, another Vince McMahon impression that fails, but still. It's that idea that you want success now, that you're so stupid that you want to break the pushes of people who could lead your company into the future. And it just does not make any sense. You people like me who are happy to watch CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and to a certain extent after TLC, Zack Ryder as champions, because that was what we want. And you can't just say, oh, we gave the viewers what they wanted, but they still won't watch. Therefore, these people suck, and we can get rid of it. That doesn't make any logical sense, does it? It just angers me. Because the IWC article I saw on the Bleacher Report saying, look, this person said, I'm happy watching Raw. The same thing I was. The IWC could be the reason for the downfall. Because their guys are on top, they feel they don't need to watch anymore. And Creative team, this is a Christmas plea. Don't take the title off Punk. Don't take the title off Daniel Bryan. And to some small extent, don't take the title off Zack Ryder either. Because this is a stupid thing. It fucked up with Del Rio already. You already showed how stupid you are by taking the title off Del Rio, which botched his entire push, and it ruined him as a legitimate threat as a main event level. And with Daniel Bryan especially, with SmackDown not having many people on their roster who could push for a main event level, minus bar, I think probably Randy Orton. And with Mark Henry with a groin injury right now, which caused this title change in the first place. We need to know you're willing to take risks. And that's the main issue here. You are not willing to take a risk anymore. You aren't willing to just let things and see how they pan out over a long period of time. Keep these guys as champions from now until Mania. Then you can see if it has led to an effective change. If it obviously is causing you troubles, then by all means, let them lose at WrestleMania if it's really causing you enough trouble. But then that could make them get dead and buried forever, which is an obvious side effect. But don't break it off when it's only just started. I know you're so desperate, Vince and the creative team, for success that you can grasp in the palm of your hand and just wonder, yes, I got the success right here, right now, I'm going to get lots of money. But the thing is, success doesn't work like that. It comes over time. We shouldn't treat this world like a lottery ticket. When you look at it, go, yes, I've got success, I'm rich. We should look at this in a broad spectrum of, I think, like agriculture, where you put something in the ground, you give it some time to be exposed to the elements, to the sun, to the rain, to grow. Then you can see whether it's the fruits of the labour you have put forward are actually worth having. And this is what you should do. This is the method you should do to ensure that this one Raw was not hampered by a lack of interest or just other things going on, because it is Christmas. It is Christmas. Everybody in the USA, I bet, was out in the last week going out to make sure they had all their Christmas shopping done, all of their presents, all of their food, all the arrangements for their families. They wanted to get that done. And because of that, some people did not watch Raw. And you can't panic because of that. I mean, you're not doing as bad as TNA. Let's put that into perspective. You're not doing bad rating-wise. Okay? And you can be happy knowing The Rock got you 280,000 buys for Survivor Series. But at the same time, you've got to think to yourself, we're not just doing it, we're building guys of the future. You're building people to lead your company into the future here. You're not just putting championships on people who are already established. Punk may seem already established, but he's only recently fully integrated himself into the main event hierarchy, which Cena, Orton, and until April, Edge only encompassed that were still in the company. And I think if you take that away, it's robbing the WWE of one of its greatest assets. And we all are saying we want something new. And when you give it to us, you feel that we're not embracing what you've given us, which I can put down to the IWC just basically saying, look, I will say this to people, okay? I watched Raw this past week. I enjoyed it. The thing is, these people are champions, and if you guys don't watch the product, these people are going to lose their fucking places. And you wanted Bryan to win. And I know some people, I mean, Dan Parkin wasn't buying Bryan as champion. I can fully understand, because some people won't think it's a legitimate part of success through Money in the Bank. And honestly, I just want to say to people, watch Raw. I don't care. Fuck it, I would even say to the guys who do these videos, even British fans, anyone, just watch Raw on your televisions. Record it on Sky Plus. Do what you can. Because honestly, we don't want to see Bryan, Ryder and Punk lose their championships due to a stupid idea. Actually, I'm more talking to the American audiences rather than the overseas ones. But do what you gotta do. Do we have to do? Watch Raw. Get WWE to listen. Because I don't want to see Bryan and Punk and Ryder lose their titles because of a ratings blip. And this is my plea to the writing staff. This Christmas Eve, all I want for Christmas is for the writing staff of the Creative to not botch this up. I want to see progress with the WWE, that we haven't just got stuck in the timeline that we have for the past 5 years, where the ratings, sure, they have been slipping, but you at least have pushed some people. You have hardly pushed anyone to the top since Cena became champion. You've kept Batista there. You pushed Edge there, surely. But that was about it. You have, okay, and you may have pushed Miz, but he's kind of declined a bit as well. So, I want progress going into the new year. This is something I want to see. The Rumble is coming up, okay? I don't want to see the title change hands on Raw. I don't want to see the title change hands at the Rumble or even the Elimination Chamber. I just want to see something which is not cut and shunt. I don't want to see Punk losing the title in some bizarre way that makes the Elimination Chamber like in 2005. Think about that for a second, when Triple H lost the title due to technicality because of Benoit and Edge pinning and tapping someone out at the same time. It's kind of like that. Will we want to see CM Punk lose the title like that only to gain it back? Maybe that was how Triple H lost it in the fucking first place. We don't know at this point. I just don't understand why you have to say turn the title to someone else just because the viewing figures go down once. People have even said on that same Bleacher Report article I read that these viewing figures have been dipping for the past 5 years. And you have only now said, okay, the change is going one way, we need to do something about it, but it's in the negative way. And I don't want to see the same thing like we did with Del Rio, because it's obviously shown that Del Rio has been made completely worthless. And if you make these new upcoming talents worthless in comparison to the very few people now who are very well established, then you will have a very, very linear roster to work with. You'll have 2 or 3 people at the top, and then very little anything else. You haven't been building your mid-card well until the last couple of months, especially on SmackDown. Everything else has been dead, buried, and non-resurrectable for a hell of a long time. And do you want to see your main event go the same way? No, you don't, because that's what the future of the company will fucking depend on in the next couple of years. We don't want to be stuck with the same old Cena bullshit. We don't want to, fuck it, I'll go even further back. We don't want to see something like The Rock, where he won 7 titles in 4 years. We don't want to see something like that happening again, because that's just crazy. We want to see legitimacy in the title picture that is not dictated by politicking and ratings. We want to see something more real, damn it. And in the reality era that we're in, we expect this. We expect to be knowing that kayfabe is dead. We don't want to hear that all these backstage mumblings are causing the product to be damaged. And people out there are going to kill me for this, but I just think if you're going to keep the product going, don't ruin something which is keeping it new and refreshing. Because I haven't been this interested in the product since about 5 months ago. Because over the autumn, I've been bored shitless. The pay-per-views have been lackluster at best. The Raws have been mostly, in some cases, near non-watchable. SmackDown apparently built itself back up. And I had a boycott on, so I couldn't watch any of it. And the fact is, WWE, I've been a fan for 10 years nearly. And the people like me, who are now grown sick of these types of actions, don't want to see them happen anymore. And you can't just the casual fans are going to be thinking, oh, he's won it back because he deserves it, yay, because he's my favourite wrestler, yay. We don't think of it like that. We actually care about the future of the industry because we've been long-time watchers. saw multiple changes and random things happening in my time growing up with this product, and I've never understood why some title changes happen. And so I now look back on and go, okay, maybe that guy was injured, guy was like this, guy was leaving, and I never factored ratings would ever be a problem to change that. But the Del Rio thing obviously started something. Okay? I mean, hell, even taking the title off Miz was probably something to do with it as well. And it all leads back to the same point that I've pointed out time after time after time in this video. That Vince, Brian Gerwitz, John Laurinaitis, whoever is listening out there, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're some T-boy right at the bottom of the ladder in WWE Incorporated. I don't care if you're a guy at the top of the ladder. I don't like a board of director guy. I don't care if you're a wrestler, a booker, a road agent. I don't actually give a shit anymore. Because all I want is the people in the company to listen to what me and a load of other fans are saying by not cutting this before it's gotten somewhere. Because you cannot make decisions at the snap of a finger because it hasn't turned out the way you wanted it to automatically. And if you keep doing shit like this, people like me are going to get so angry that we don't want to watch the product anymore. And that's where it boils down to. You make decisions that make us not want to watch. You've got to make the stories on our television screens compelling. You've got to make the wrestlers interesting. And you've got to make decisions like this natural. And if you don't, we will get so frustrated that the idea of change doesn't even exist, then we won't see a point watching anymore. I mean, sure, it will take some kind of Montreal... You're waiting for some kind of Montreal Screwjob, Austin 316 moment, IWC. You're waiting for this moment to get you back in. And the Punk Shoot promo nearly did that. And the fact is, the WWE staff want something that can explode overnight, which the Punk angle did. But now they want it again. They want it again and again and again, and they know they can't get it, and when they realise that we don't give a shit about it when it happens, that they want to make changes like this. I'm going to plea and plea. Somebody from the WWE, somebody from anywhere in the wrestling world, forward this on. Because I bet I'm not the only one. But if I've put on a case here which is watertight as it could be, and you agree with me, disagree with me, whatever, send it on. Because if we see CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Zack Ryder lose their titles because of one small rating slump, then you can tell me or anyone that's going to not only be a bad decision, but I'm going to say to everybody else, if it does happen, and I know it comes consequently from that, you can bet hand on heart I may not watch another WWE TV show. Pay-per-views I will continue doing till the day I stop officially watching the entire product. But if the Raw this upcoming week has a title change on it, if Boxing Day Raw has Punk losing the title, or Punk being buried, or Bryan being buried on SmackDown perhaps, if something happens that de-pushes his characters, then I will be so pissed off, I don't think I could bear myself to watch Raw again. And that's the last issue I want to point on, because I only just got back into watching Raw this week, and I bet people like the WWE do not want to see a loyal, near-decade-long fan stop watching because they've made the wrong fucking decision because of their own stupid ideas of how things should be in the success department. Because that's not how a company is run. I mean, you even say one last point of comparison. Fox cancelled Firefly due to low ratings, and yet it's technically been resurrected in a movie and has comic book series going to it because the public wanted it. Arrested Development followed the same factor. There's now going to be a new miniseries and a movie coming out after it was cancelled due to low ratings. Now, people are going to still campaign about this all the time. But until until some significant change is done, the people will not give a shit to the point. And it just... I want to say this one last time, WWE Creative. Don't make the mistake that I know you will probably make. Because you could lose a very dedicated fan due to it. And I don't think anyone of my subscribers wants to hear that happening. Because I've been pissed off and disgruntled with this product in the past. I've been heavily involved in this product for years. Even when I've been at my most low, I've still kept an interest. And I don't want you WWE Creative to just be higher than thou, to just dictate things like this. And I've probably gone on for this video way too long than I should have done. But then again, that's what I do. I'm the wrestling ranter, ready to go over wrestling banter, and this is exactly a reason why I do it. And for the love of God, if I have to say to myself, I will not watch another Raw or another SmackDown ever again, and I have to do what many of these typical internet people do, looking at the spoilers and just continuously ruining the product, then that will be a sad loss for not just the world, but just me generally, because I don't feel that this is the right course of action. And if this is not a protest message that people should hear, then ignore what I've just said. If you think I'm talking complete bullshit, you can stop, or may have already stopped. But honestly, if anyone out there hears this, pass it on, please. Because this is all I want for Christmas. WWE Creative to not do the one thing that may stop me from watching the TV product altogether. And guys, I'm going to end it there. You can comment on anything I've said, like the video, subscribe up there, all the stuff. In fact, add me on Facebook, MSN. Actually, not even MSN. I don't even have the ad details for that anymore. Skype down there. Skype, CreamCrazyWR. We can talk about these things. Because I bet you'll have a lot to talk to me about after this video has now concluded. Guys, I've been Cream Crazy. You've been people watching. This is my Christmas Eve WWE Creative Team Plea. And for the love of God, hand on heart, even though I'm not religious, I hope this is... When I watch Raw next week, after going through the entire Boxing Day thing with my entire family, after having a wonderful time at Christmas, I don't want to see the repercussions of what I've said in this video become apparent. And guys, I will see you tomorrow for my Rock vs. Cena analysis video. It'll be a great Christmas present to you all. Have a Merry Christmas. I hope you all get your great presents that you want. And I hope you have a fantastic time with your family tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow evening when all the festivities have wound down. And I'll probably be ridiculously tired, but who knows. Peace, guys. See you then.